Hey everyone, I'm Chris Carter for the Locked On Steelers podcast, and this is your Locked On Now update for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have signed a linebacker, Cole Holcomb, to a 3-year deal. Still waiting for all the finances on this deal. But Wednesday morning, you woke up and you got some news. The Steelers signed a linebacker. We were talking about on the last show, all those shows, that they needed to make a move at linebacker because all they had was Myles Jack and Mark Robinson. And Robert Spillane signing to the Raiders takes him off the Steelers' radar. So they went and got Cole Holcomb. He's a young 26-year-old linebacker. He'll be 27, I think, when the season starts next year. But he comes with playing experience from the Washington Commanders. He last year he suffered a foot injury that cut half of his year off, but by my quick and film analysis, and I must emphasize I haven't gotten a chance to study this guy in depth or anything, but by just looking at some of his films, some of the good tape and some of the bad tape, it seems like this guy, he is a decent athlete who can hit, and he's decent in coverage. He's not going to be immaculate. He's not going to wipe away all the tight ends out there, but he's a decently sized guy at 6'1", 240. He's also he also seems like a guy who's willing to hit. A lot of the better plays that I saw of him, he was playing downfield a lot like how Robert Spillane was, but bigger, stronger, and also more effective in coverage. Pro Football Focus gave him a 67 coverage rating on their grade system, and charted him to be targeted 19 times to allow 15 receptions, which on itself isn't that good, but he only allowed 155 yards through there, did allow 3 touchdowns on the year, and did have a pass breakup. But I think the thing here is the Steelers aren't getting this guy. Cole Holcomb isn't the answer at linebacker. I think he's part of the answer. He's a guy who wore a green dot in Washington. And 2 years ago, when he did play a full season, he had 142 combined tackles for them. I think they needed a veteran linebacker to come in who can pair with Myles Jack if a rookie doesn't work out, and someone that can move, hit, help stop the run, and be acceptable in pass coverage. I still think linebacker is in play for the Steelers in the NFL draft class, and we'll talk about that as we keep moving along through free agency with the Locked On Steelers podcast. But Cole Holcomb does seem like a good fit right now, and right now the Steelers, Omar Khan, following the model a bit of Kevin Colbert to fill holes, but doing it in different ways. He's been going and getting new faces, bringing them in. We've already talked about Patrick Peterson. We talked about Nate Herbig coming in for the offensive line. They brought back Ogunjobi and KZ as far as familiar faces. But this is another one that now is going to be interesting. Now the question will be, do the Steelers sign another free agent linebacker, or do they wait till the draft and they go get their guys? I think that really this linebacker class, it's not that deep. There's only about 4 guys that I was even personally really interested in. Those being Jack Campbell, Drew Sanders, and Trenton Simpson, then DeMarvion Overshown in the later rounds if they could get him in the 4th round. But any of those top 3 names, I think, are going to be day 2 picks, and that'll be where you probably look at the Steelers wanting to draft a linebacker. Who knows, though? They might surprise us and draft one of them at 17. We've been surprised before by the Steelers. But bottom line is, I think the Steelers are trying to get athletic linebackers who can tackle and help with coverage. I think it would help to get a guy who could really help with coverage. I think that Trenton Simpson could be that guy because with how fast he is. Jack Campbell also looked really good in coverage on tape. So there are options out there. But Cole Holcomb himself seems like an upgrade over Robert Spillane as a veteran depth player who, if he doesn't start, him being the first linebacker off the bench, you won't be mad at. So still lots to talk about, lots to see what the Steelers are going to do. Mike Tomlin, it was seen at the Georgia Pro Day. So he's there looking at Broderick Jones, Kelly Ringo, and all the Georgia prospects on Wednesday. We'll see what we have there. And we'll have a full episode of the Locked On Steelers podcast for the Thursday edition right here on your favorite podcasting platform and or YouTube. So check us out on all those different apps, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Odyssey. You can also, again, watch us on YouTube. Like this video if you enjoy it. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. I do apologize. We are on the road right now. So as you can see, my setting still behind me is a hotel in Dayton, Ohio. I'll be driving to Greensboro, North Carolina, because as you know, I cover the Pitt Panthers, and they just won a big game in the NCAA tournament, and they're moving on to the next round. I cover them for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. You want all those details, go to post-gazette.com. But if you want all your Steelers analysis, get it right here on the Locked On Steelers podcast. I'm your host, Chris Carter. We'll have more on Cole Holcomb and what the Steelers are doing in free agency with our full Thursday episode that'll come out midnight going into Thursday. Hope to see you then.